Why talented creatives stay invisible. The most talented creative in the room is often not the most successful. Sometimes they're the least visible. They have the ideas, they have the taste, they can recognize excellent work immediately. They may even be the person everybody else asks advice for. But when it's time to release their own work, something happens. They need another week. The idea is not fully developed. The equipment is not good enough. The timing is wrong. They need to learn one more technique before they can do the idea justice. From the outside, this looks like perfectionism, but I think something deeper is actually happening here. Staying invisible protects your potential. If you've never finished the film, nobody can say it was good or bad. If you've never published the idea, you can continue believing it would have. If you've never published the idea, you can continue believing it would have succeeded. If you keep preparing, you never have to discover what your current abilities can actually produce. Your potential remains perfect because reality has never been allowed to actually test it. I understand this because I can make decisions quickly when I'm creating for someone else. A client gives me a deadline, a brief, a reason to stop. The work has to leave my hands whether I feel completely ready or not. But when the work represents me, every decision feels heavier, and I know it happens to you too. Now, the title is not just a title. It says something about my intelligence. The video is not just a video. It says something about my ability. And the response is not just data. It feels like verdict. That is when preparation becomes attractive. Preparation feels productive, but it delays judgment. I call this the potential protection loop. First, you imagine work that could be exceptional. Then you realize that producing it well exposes the gap between your taste and your current ability. So you prepare instead of finishing. Because you do not finish, you do not get useful feedback. Because you do not get feedback, your ability does not catch up to your actual taste. The gap remains, and the next project feels even more threatening. The loop protects your ego while quietly starving your actual development. The way out is not to lower your ambition permanently. It is to stop asking one project to prove your actual potential. Your next video does not have to establish that you are a great filmmaker, or a great creative, or a great personal brand or business owner. It only has to show you what to improve next. The next photograph does not have to reveal your final style. It only has to exist long enough for you to react to it. Your next idea does not need to be original enough to represent you forever. It needs to become real. Here's the experiment that I want you to take today. Choose one thing you can finish in 48 hours. Before beginning, define what finish means. Set a limit on the number of revisions. Decide where it will be published, and when the deadline arrives, just release it. Do not ask whether it represents your full potential, because it cannot. It is one piece of evidence from one moment in your development. Then write down what the project taught you in that preparation cannot. That is your identity receipt. That is your identity receipt. Talented creators do not stay invisible because they have nothing to offer. They stay invisible because invisibility allows their imagined potential to remain actually untouched. But potential that is never tested eventually becomes a story you tell yourself. Finished work turns the story into evidence. And confidence is not what allows you to become visible. Visibility is the receipt that eventually creates that confidence for you.